gonna start out with a 1 ounce Mackinaw shad in olive. And we're gonna put a little Menhaden Procure and just jig it on some ledges. Should be coming back over a ledge shortly. There it is. There we go. Damn, son. There's a fish sitting right on that ledge. I knew as soon as we dropped down we'd find him. Let's go. That fish must have been just sitting there. Whoa. Oh, man. It's actually not a bad bass to start the day. I'm not exaggerating, I just dropped that down. Like, instantaneous. That's pretty cool. It's not a bad bass either. They love these baits, man. Last spring, we had so much success. Oh yeah, look at that guy. It's actually not a bad bass. We're gonna net him. Just because we got some really light line on the rod. There we go. That's actually not a bad start to the day. Look at that. That's a healthy looking bass. All right, let's get this sucker back in the water, man. What a beauty. He's probably not going to want to stay with us very long. I've learned over the time, back up when you're about to let him go, because that tail splash is always there. All right, I know you probably shouldn't be switching up since the first drop we caught a fish like almost instantly, but I've always wanted to try these baits that Elias makes. They're a little bit larger, so I'm hoping to kind of call out some of the smaller fish. Should be coming back over top of that ledge shortly. Let me see. Yep, there it is. That last fish, as soon as I got it over that ledge, literally thumped me. I think we're there now. Oh, bass just jumped over there. You hear that? But gotta stay focused. We want to kind of jig up fish today. Maybe in a little bit we'll try closer to the banks. Oh yeah, passing over some fish now. All right, we're on bottom. Oh, there we go. Let's go. That's awesome. They're just sitting on that ledge. It's funny, they always want to run with the current. The current's moving towards the front of the boat. Man. Jeez, what an absolute nice fish. Probably not as big as that first fish, but still a nice fish though. I'll tell you, this is my favorite. Wow, actually that's a chunky bass. This is my favorite type of striper fishing, honestly. I know some guys prefer the flats, shallow fishing, but in my eyes, deep jigging to me is probably the most fun you can have for them. There we go. They're all about cookie cutters. That guy, as chunky as he is, he's probably going to be a heartbreak. My guess, I don't know, possibly 25 maybe. Beautiful fish though. All right, man, I'm marking some big fish under us. Gonna drop that down. That's a whiptail shad. I don't know if I said it earlier, but it's like a 7-inch bait made by Elias V Fishing, and it is extremely deadly for striped bass. I know I've had luck with big flounder with it, not just necessarily a striper lure, but sure, yeah, we're passing over that little ledge again. Once you hit that ledge, I'm just kind of like twitching it ever so often, like something just took a grab at it. Make sure I'm on bottom. All right, so what I'm trying to do, that's my bait right there. I'm setting myself up ahead of a ledge that I want to fish, and pretty much just gonna wait till I get there and jig my bait right over it. Why these ledges seem to be so productive is you have a lot of predatory fish, like we're starting to drop off right now. A lot of predatory fish, like there's that little drop off, that are sitting on these ledges waiting for bait fish to get washed by. There it is. There's that ledge. Gotta drop down a little bit. There it goes. Should be some fish sitting on it. Passing over some fish right now. Oh, there we go. It's funny, you can see them. There's a school bait right there. It's a smaller one. Oh, yeah, it's a smaller one, I think. Yeah, a little spunky guy. You could always tell. That's not a bad fish though. I'll take him. It's funny, the stripers are one of the few fish that bigger baits don't deter them. Like especially the smaller guys, like this guy. Like this guy's maybe, on a good day, I don't know, 22 inches. You know, but they're not deterred by these big baits. Oh, there we go. Dang, that guy didn't even show up on the screen. It's funny too, sometimes these fish are just roaming. And people forget, man, they have tails. Oh man, that guy came straight to the surface. That's wild. Usually, you know, the bigger fish will dig into the current, while fish like this size, which I would consider a smaller striped bass, will come straight up. And it's funny, man, like, that's actually not a bad bass, especially for jigging senses. Oh, he wasn't getting away. He's double hooked. Like, that's not a bad little backwater bass for a light tackle. Alright, dropping it back down. I will say, one of the things I'm noticing with the boat is I'm not as tired from fishing, because a lot of the areas I'll fish, especially if I'm striper fishing, are kind of a haul from where I launch. You know, they're not like the bridge videos where I'm just kind of pedaling a couple 100 yards and I'm there. Like, most of these trips when I'm fishing for stripers, I'm going minimum 4 or 5 miles in a certain direction. So from a boat perspective, it's like a breath of fresh air, knowing that I could kind of explore a few areas, because, you know, at the kayak, you're kind of relinquish to whatever area you decide you're going to go to and kind of make it work. Or at least with the boat, if this spot that we went to right away wasn't producing, we could easily pick up and go somewhere else. I will say too, the redrift is much easier. Usually in the kayak, you know, I gotta pedal back to where I want to be after fighting a fish. See, we're coming back up on another ledge right now. All right, we'll kill the motor here. Oh, son, the thump. I'm over here trying to look at my screen. Got thumped, and it's always the first drop special. Nothing big, but still a fun fish to catch. Tell you what, these smaller bass are just full of energy. They're like little puppies. That's pretty cool. Little guy. Smallest bass of the day right there. Little chunk. Alright, I'm marking a ton of fish. Look at that. Holy smokes. Just look underneath of us. We're about to get one right there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Alright, battery died on this fish. Another little bass. I think the tide is kind of moving pretty quick here. So once we get this bass back in the water, I think I'm going to try something a little different. Alright, so I didn't think we were going to implore this today, but the tide's starting to really rip. And I really want to maximize my time. So I'm going to throw the shallow water pin in. There we go. It's like the greatest thing. I'm trying to think. Guess I'll tie it to, yeah, this side. And what I'm gonna do, once that pulls back tight, kill the motor. Perfect. Now, rather than drifting, I'm going to cast ahead of me, because I saw a ton of fish in this little like current break ahead of us, and I'm just gonna let the tide do all the work. I'm gonna let it sink to the bottom and just twitch it back. Should be able to have the same exact success as we were drifting, except for now I don't have to worry about running into the marsh. This is where having a trolling motor would be nice, but this shallow water pin is like what I would call a godsend. It's probably the cheapest alternative. Now, the only problem with it, little bass, the only problem with the shallow water pin is it wouldn't work if we were fishing like a deeper ledge. But I'm very fortunate that where I'm fishing to my left is pretty shallow, and where I'm casting to is relatively deep. But what I'm letting it do, you probably can't tell because the sun's directly in front of us, but I'm letting it sink all the way to the bottom. I'm watching my line, and I'm just kind of double twitch, pause, double twitch, pause. You could always change your cadence. You probably could get away with, honestly, just casting and retrieving, honestly. But there we go. They're just schooled up in that little ledge. And this is fun, man. And see, these bass are not big by any means, but I will take them. You know what I mean? Like, that guy is more fun than not catching fish at all. All right, let's try cast out that way. I think they're all in between where I'm casting, because I was marking a ton of them. And right now is that golden hour, man, like the last hour before sunset. It's like when they really start feeding. Oh, one followed it up. Just ripped it right out of his mouth. Oh, there he goes. That's pretty cool. They're just fired up right now. Alright, see if we can't go back to the well. That cast might have been a little bit further out than I want it to be, but we'll be able to slightly work it into the area that I think the fish are sitting on. Ooh, there we go. I knew there had been a fish on that ledge. That's awesome. They must just be stacked on top of each other. And he absolutely swallowed it. Let's see what we can do with this guy so we don't damage him. See if we can't do the least amount of possible damage. Okay, good. It's only in the roof of his mouth. There we go. No harm, no foul. There he goes.